This time, I will tell you about anime more than a couple less than lovers. One of the main characters, Sakurazaka Shiori, stumbles and falls on our second heroine, Watanabe Akari. They throw a coin of the altar and make a wish. Let's move on from the heroines to our main character, Jiraiya Queen. He is dissatisfied with the strangest event in high school wedding practice, during which a guy and a girl are taken together in a room so that they pose as newlyweds. Jiraiya is sitting and hanging out with her friend Sada Hurakama sitting on the steps. Suddenly, she tells them to get out of the way. They crowd together and each other notice the attractiveness of the girl. But Jiraiya categorically disagrees with this and says that she is rude and everything is constantly on display. Watanabe meets on the stairs the most beautiful student in the school, Minami Tenzin, with whom she is in love. In class, his childhood friend and first love Shiori tells him that she is worried and would like to settle down with someone she knows. The teacher tells about the rules of the event, that there will be a camera and the bedrooms will be separate and open with a fingerprint. Already on the spot, it turned out that the hero was placed with Watanabe. Because of small skirmishes, they lose points, but the girl says that they need to score points for rank A and then they can change a pair. She begins to behave more politely and Jiraiya goes to the store to buy a drink. On the street at the vending machine, he finds Shiori with Tenzin and runs away, becoming completely devastated. Watanabe teases him about this, but immediately after that, cheers him up. A friend calls Jiraiya for a walk, but Watanabe stops him because they have a negative account and says to kiss her before leaving. Jiraiya does not dare and Watanabe mocks him again, but in the end he kisses her right on the lips and leaves. The score becomes positive and Watanabe is very confused because she meant just a kiss on the cheek. Arriving at school through the window, Jiraiya sees Watanabe huddling up to Tenzin and becomes devastated again in class. The teacher says that he and she would come to her after school. It starts raining outside. Jiraiya did not take an umbrella with him. Watanabe passes by and he tells her to go to the teacher, but she just leaves to sing with Tenzin in karaoke. Jiraiya complained about his situation, but a friend notices that his wife is a top girl and his girlfriend is generally a QTA and that he is just like a harem hero. The teacher tells Jiraiya to talk to Watanabe, because if they still have a 0 score, then there may be problems with graduation from school. The rain is still continuing and the hero imagines what the girl is doing there. Sakurazaka unexpectedly embraces him. It turns out she is afraid of bugs, and then in the morning she was just scared of a moth. She asks to call herself Shiori. The heroes almost dare to call her by name as they are interrupted by Tenzin, who brought Shiori's forgotten umbrella. She leaves and says goodbye to Jiraiya. Watanabe comes and they walk together under an umbrella. She supports him again. When they come home, they eat the food prepared for her and to increase the points. Fats offers her to bite the dish from a spoon, and after they kiss. But they are interrupted by a friend's call and Watanabe and Jiraiya do not understand why their heart is pounding so much. The heroes will be Watanabe and together they watch a horror movie in order, according to her, to increase the points after overcoming fears. Jiraiya turns off the TV, and so she would offer them to change into paired pajamas with a heart. She tells him to turn away so that she changes clothes and he decides to change too. Suddenly, the light turns off and out of fear, she clings to Jiraiya. He turns on the flashlight and she finds him in a frank way. She wants him to tell a story and he tells a horror story. She pauses and says that Tenzin would not have done that and continues saying that you can't only rely on him here and takes the main character by the hand. Jiraiya looks at her and how embarrassed she is, lights a candle and begins to fall asleep. Jiraiya hugs her with the words beauty, understands what he said and immediately checks if she heard. But she fell asleep, so he says a rumor that she has a cute face and takes her hand. But it turned out she heard everything and is very embarrassed. Arriving at the school, Jiraiya and Watanabe see that their rating has increased, but the pair of Shiori and Tenzin, it is suspiciously small. Jiraiya falls ill, and Watanabe called Shiori to him, who took care of him. As for the rating, she replies that she does not get along with guys and says that she would like Jiraiya to be her husband. Jiraiya supports her and says that she will be able to achieve an A rating and that she is generally cool. Shiori almost kisses Jiraiya, but stop. Later, Watanabe comes and washes in the shower. Jiraiya comes to the door, thanks her for sending Sakurazaka and says that she will try to be a good husband to her so that everything works out with Tenzin and leaves. Watanabe is happy, but does not understand why she is so angry. Watanabe asks Jiraiya what the guy would like from the girl, and he replies that bento would be a nice option, so he helps to cook bento for Tenzin, and before going to him, Watanabe asks Jiraiya for his care, and he thinks she needs another one. kissing them, interrupting Shiori, who brought them the remains of the pie. Turned out Tenzin likes sweets in Akari's bento. Is not like that at all, so Jiraiya ate it. Watanabe is sad that nothing happened, and Jiraiya tries to cheer her up in response. She sits on it and says, "That wouldn't I like to do? That with her, and didn't you imagine this process?" She harasses him, but feels that she is very worried and stops her. She begins to think that she is not attractive and tells him that it's time to stop playing spouses, and their rank drops to 0 in the following days after talking with Shiori. Jiraiya decided to start all over again with Watanabe and says that he decided to stop everything at that moment not because he didn't want to. He really wanted to, but because he didn't want to do it this way. She comes back to normal and tells him that she likes him and calls him by name. He thinks to kiss her, but only hands. Everyone is very confused, and Jiraiya does not understand what her means. "I like you," and Watanabe thinks the same. Jiraiya and Watanabe find out rumors that Tenzin does not want to change pairs. Jiraiya asks Shiori if she wants to stay paired with Tenzin and asks a similar question from Tenzin Watanabe. Tenzin replies that he probably wants to stay with Shiori, to which Watanabe begins to cry, and Tenzin calms her down. This moment is seen by Jiraiya's friend, and Shiori replies that she does not know and begins to hint that she would like to be paired with Jiraiya, and in response, he says that if they are both of a rank, then he also wanted her but does not have time to finish it, and for a friend who wants to tell what he saw in the pantry. Our married couples meet each other, and Jiraiya does not understand why Watanabe looks away. Shiori and Tenzin leave, followed by our couple. A friend finally tells about what he saw in the pantry, but Jiraiya pretends that he doesn't care. He comes home and Watanabe pretends not to hear him. He tells her, "I'm sorry that I'm not Tenzin," and tells her that he found out about their kiss. But Watanabe says that he was just getting a speck of dust and that he wants to stay with Shiori at all. She cries and tells Jiraiya not to look. He hugs and thereby fulfills her request. After she takes a shower and puts on his t-shirt, she sticks to him and Jiraiya tells her to cover up. She teases him and says she can't hide anything because she hears his heart beating, and says what a fool he kissed her on the lips because it was her first time. He is shocked, but at the same time, happy. Watanabe takes Jiraiya on duty and hugs. At school, it is found out that the girl with whom he was supposed to be on duty was replaced by Shiori. This girl, Mei, did this on purpose to help Shiori get closer to Jiraiya. Mei tells her that she needs to kiss him, and then he will be in her pocket looking for Jiraiya, but finds Shiori with him in class and leaves. Shiori tells Jiraiya to close her eyes and bend over. He expects a kiss, but she says that she just removed the chalk of all her hair. She could not decide on a kiss. In the evening, Jiraiya and Watanabe are talking on the balcony, and she asks to be called by her name, Akari. He breaks down but still pronounces it. She asks him again and says that the feeling is supposedly only she has a feeling. They understand what she said, and Akari evades and runs to her room. At school, they say that exams will be coming soon, and Jiraiya persuades them to study instead of going to karaoke. Watanabe grasps everything quickly, but he really does not want to study. But he manages to motivate her again. She harasses him very much. Jiraiya barely holds on, but still he is tired up, enduring it, inclined to kiss the embarrassed Watanabe. But the boy does not. He can stand it, and his nose is bleeding, saving him from a mistake. After, Watanabe is sad that sometime they will stop living together and will not be so close. For some reason, she starts calling him by his last name in the morning, but otherwise everything is the same. Jiraiya does not understand anything. Jiraiya with a friend finds Mei with a girl confessing her love. It turned out that Mei is popular with girls. This girl asks at least to call her by her name. After that, Jiraiya thinks that maybe if he calls Watanabe by name, he will get to the point he comes home and wants to go to the shower. But he's interrupted by Watanabe and shows that they are in 8th place among the spouses after she dries his hair and he pronounces her name. She was embarrassed by him calling her a few more times. He stops, but she asks them to continue calling her that while they are married. On Mei Street, you warn Shiori that Watanabe can take Jiraiya away, after which Shiori is hit with a sword and taken to the infirmary. Mei arranges for Jiraiya to meet Shiori, and he comes to the infirmary where she asks for a kiss. Jiraiya decides, but Shiori gets scared and tells him to stop, because they are not spouses, but Watanabe's girlfriend comes into the infirmary and trying to hide from her. They still kiss. A friend of Watanabe tells that someone was tumbling behind the curtain at the medical center, and Akari receives a message from Fat that he just left the medical center. She thinks that he is not a virgin now. Jiraiya does not understand why Watanabe did not come because she wanted to eat sweets in the evening. She comes and sees that he was waiting for her. She lies down next to him and wishes him good luck, but she wants to be his wife for now. They wake up and Jaira doesn't understand anything. She lies to him that they did the same thing, but he doesn't remember anything. He replies that it was his first time, apologizes if everything it was bad, but she said she was just joking. She says, is it offensive to him? And he replies that yes, it hurts him. She apologizes because she will never do something like that with him. She shuts his ears and says that she can't just because he is Shiori. Friends want to help Watanabe get closer to Tenzin, and they're trying to arrange a meeting for them at fireworks. Jira helps Watanabe with Yukata, and she goes to the festival where it turns out that Tenzin won't come. But later she sees him with Shiori and is completely devastated. Jira is standing on the balcony and then a crying Akari calls him. He runs to look for her, but she was just outside the apartment door. He comforts her and says that he was waiting. They're standing on the balcony and watching the fireworks. They ask him if he is at least a little jealous, to which he replies that she does not take his hands and puts them on her waist. Says that he should take the bow as he wants. He does not quite succeed, and they want to watch the video on the phone, which leads to hugs. She asks Jira to call her Akari, and he says her name 3 times. They are interrupted by another volley of fireworks from hearts. Jira takes a bath, and Watanabe bursts into him. She says she is afraid of a spider, so he spends the whole evening next to her. They have a conversation about what would happen if they just met. I don't know each other, and Watanabe says that the couple in 5th place, although they have nothing to do with each other. But they meet and says, Jira, why not try it? He doesn't answer anything, and she says she was just joking. After she sees a spider, she huddles to the hero out of fear. Shiori asks Tenzin for advice for a friend about a declaration of love, to which he replies that there is hope until you confess, but it is better to confess if there is a chance of success. Then the scene in which it turns out that Mei is in love with Shiori. After Jira meets Sakurazaku and talks to her, she tells him that she liked the kiss. They almost kiss again, but they are interrupted by seals and they go home. A friend of Jira says that he got a part-time job with accommodation and signed up there, and as Jira is initially indignant, but then it turns out that Shiori signed up for it, and he changed his mind about part-time work, only for his wife to allow it. Jira comes home where he meets Watanabe in a swimsuit. She also goes to a part-time job and begs Jira to say that he will miss him and once again harasses and gropes him. But it turns out that they have the same part-time job, and this job is at sea. Already on the spot, Jira got a job in the kitchen with Shiori, where, thanks to the cream, they almost reach the secret moment. But they are interrupted again. After everyone went to the beach to swim, but Jira and Kama did not take swimming trunks and just relax on the beach. After Watanabe and Jira fall out to go for food together and on the way back, they got a little lost, and when Jira found Akari, 2 boys molested her. He saved Watanabe by saying that he was her husband and apologized to her because I didn't know what else to say. She told him that she didn't mind him calling her that. Later, a classic bath session takes place. Next, Jira and Watanabe meet on the beach where she shows him a swimsuit that she promised to wear for him. She tells him to look at her and says strange things about the fact that she wants him to behave with her here as with his wife. He says that it sounds like she's his girlfriend and is jealous, which is why it turns out to get away. Miu and Shiori come to them, from whom our couple is hiding under the stairs. He says that they need to hold out for what Watanabe asked what they need to disperse. Mei hears some sounds and goes to check, but does not notice them. Watana and Jira starts making loud noises, and therefore Shiori and Jira starts making loud noises, and therefore Shiori, Mai run away. They have a very spicy moment in their booth, but Jira falls due to heat stroke. Later they talk, and Watanabe says that he wants them to get to know each other better while they are husband and wife. The next day, everyone will know about the event in which couples will have to walk together through the forest at night. Jira's friend helps him and Akari by manipulating Jiro to be with Shiori and Watanabe with Tenzin. All passed successfully, but Akari got lost while looking for her phone, and also started raining. Shiori tells Jiro to go to the house from the rain, but he goes to look for Watanabe. He finds her phone, and Akari finds Tenzin. She was waiting for Jira, so she said his name out loud after Tenzin. Says that she knows how Watanabe is on him. He is staring, but he loves another and wishes her good luck with Jira. She thanks him and falls asleep on him. At this time, Shiori finds Jira and says that the older they are, the more difficult it is to remain just friends, and wants him to tell her something Akari doesn't know and kisses Jira. Jira thinks about yesterday and what to do at all. He goes to the store to buy manga and meets Shiori there, who invites him to visit. There they see a double rainbow and take pictures against her background. He decides that this is the best moment to ask, but Shiori shows him a shared photo where there's also Akari. After that, he changed his mind and went home. There, Watanabe writes to him and calls him on a date. He thinks that this is some kind of trap, but they're just having a nice time in a cafe, and with cats, they want to go home. But Akari remembers that he wanted to go to a temple that couples usually go to, and together, they go in his direction. Along the way, they meet Shiori, who also wanted to go to it, and Watanabe suggests running a race to the temple, and at the top, they all make a wish together. And as usual, the anime ended at the most interesting moment. The story came out, as I say it, exciting and romantic. Today, my rating is 9 out of 10. All by